we're talking about the dream roster for the next Punch-Out! Listen, if you're making a video about the next Punch-Out, you have to come out swinging because fans have been waiting for over a decade for Nintendo to stop sitting on their asses and give us the sequel we deserve! Now, first things first. The Forgotten Legends, the SNES revival. First off, why the hell has Narcissus Prince been MIA since the SNES? This guy walks into the ring from London looking like he just stepped off a runway at Fashion Week. He's got the knee socks, the designer-looking shorts, and the hair that probably costs more than Little Mac's entire training gym. His name is a literal play on narcissist, and he lives up to every bit of it. The reason Narcissus Prince needs to be in the next game is his berserk mechanic. Most boxers in Punch-Out have a pattern, but Narcissus has a personality disorder. For the first half of the fight, he is a technical brick wall. He blocks everything. He's got this smug-ass look on his face like he's bored even being in the same zip code as you. If you try to jab him, he just smirks and counters. But then, you find the opening. You dodge his London Lashings triple jab, and you land one solid square punch right on his nose. Next! The Gatekeeper, Rick Bruiser. First, you've got Rick Bruiser. He's the younger brother, but don't let that younger tag fool you. This guy is a literal mountain of muscle. Rick is the ultimate gatekeeper. In a new game, he should be the one who welcomes you to the special circuit by putting you face first into the canvas within 10 seconds. Why do we need him? Because Rick represents pure, unfiltered aggression. He doesn't have a flashy gimmick like Narcissus Prince or a weird prop like Hoy Corlo. He just has those massive tree trunk arms and a double arm block that is a total bitch to break through. He's the guy who teaches you that your little baby jabs don't mean shit in the big leagues. You have to find the tiny millisecond-long openings when he goes for his overhead smash, or he will literally pound you into the floor like a tent stake. He's the welcome to hell fight of the game. The god of the ring, Nick Bruiser. But then you get to Nick. If Rick is the gatekeeper, Nick Bruiser is the god of the ring. This man is the most terrifying final boss in the entire series, and yes, I'm including Mr. Sandman and Mike Tyson in that conversation. What made Nick so goddamn scary back in the day? It was the silence. When you fought Nick Bruiser, there was no high-energy music. It was just the sound of the crowd and the sound of him breaking your ribs. That cold, calculated aura is exactly what the next Punch-Out needs. I want him to walk out with zero fanfare. No flashy lights, no dancing, just a man who is there to do a job, and that job is ending your career. Nick needs to keep his signature move, the one-hit stun. In the SNES version, if this man landed a solid hook, your character was stunned instantly. It didn't matter how much health you had, you were one mistake away from a KO at all times. Bringing that kind of perfect play requirement back would be insane. It turns the fight into a high-stakes chess match where one wrong move means you're staring at the ceiling wondering what the hell just happened. Next, the Nintendo World Tour, the Ultimate Story Mode. So you may be asking, MD, what are you talking about? What mode is that? It's a mode where you fight Nintendo characters. But not all of them, just characters that fit for Punch-Out. And I'ma start with
Captain Falcon!
Captain Falcon is a fire choice that actually makes sense for a crossover because the man is a literal legend of the right hook. Even though he's technically a futuristic racer, his entire legacy in the gaming world is built on his hands, and that Falcon Punch is basically the holy grail of combat moves that belongs in a boxing ring more than anywhere else. He fits the Punch-Out aesthetic perfectly because he's a loud, arrogant, high-energy showman who would treat the squared circle like his own personal stage to flex on everyone. His speed would be an absolute nightmare for the player, forcing you to stop button mashing like a scrub and actually learn how to time your dodges against a guy who moves like a goddamn blur. The contrast between Little Mac's underdog from the Bronx vibe and Falcon's intergalactic bounty hunter ego is pure gold for a boss fight. If Nintendo doesn't put a guy whose most iconic trait is a single, earth-shattering punch into a boxing game, they are straight up failing at basic game design. He's the ultimate high-tier challenge that would make the special circuit feel like a genuine high-stakes war. So next up, we got to go with... Drum roll, please.
Samus.
That gut punch in the reveal trailer. It's the perfect goddamn reason to bring Samus into the ring for a real rematch. It wasn't just some random move, it was Little Mac, the ultimate underdog, putting a legendary bounty hunter on her ass with a single brutal uppercut straight to the goddamn solar plexus. That moment created an instant, unspoken rivalry that needs to be settled in the WVBA ring, where there aren't any platforms or items to hide behind. Having Samus come back to get her revenge for that specific hit makes her the ultimate grudge match opponent, turning a simple crossover into a high-stakes payback story. It makes total sense for her to step into Mac's world to prove that a kid from the Bronx can't just walk up and disrespect an intergalactic warrior like that without facing a hell of a lot of pain. Seeing them run that moment back, but with Mac having to survive her tech and armor just to land that same savage uppercut again, would be the most hype piece of storytelling Nintendo has ever put in a boxing game. But anyways, if you like the video, like it up and sub. I had to make it cause you know I'm just obsessed with Punch-Out. The last time they made one was 2009.
Damn, son.